Hey guys, and welcome back to the Power of Music. So I'm sorry I've kind of put a pause on this series. I was actually in the middle of doing a different song, and then I kind of just realized it was so long I couldn't do it within a radius of like 40 minutes. It had to have been like 50 or 40 minutes I tried it, and it just was like, man, this is way too long for you guys. So I'm going to try to go back and I'm going to try to hit some notes, or hit some simple, small topics that hopefully I can just, at very least, get into like 30 or 20 minutes range for you guys, so you don't have to sit there. But for this song, we're obviously going over Johnny Cash, Walk the Line. This is, I Walk the Line, sorry. This is a favorite song of mine. It's right up there with, honestly, I've got so many favorite Johnny Cash songs. But when it has to do with romance, or when it has to do with relationship songs, this is probably not my, man. There's only a few sappy songs I really like. The top three is Ring of Fire, Walk the Line, and Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. So, anyways, we're going to get into talking about I Walk the Line. So, and this is such a great song. So, anyways, now keep this in mind. This is probably, I want to say this is goals for, well, let's just jump into it. So, it starts off with, I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes open all the time. I keep the end out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. So let's start off with that. Let's go sentence by sentence on this one. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. What does that mean? I keep a close watch of this heart of mine. Well, it means a few things. One, it means I try not to, you watch your heart, because your heart can kind of zigzag. It can kind of go out there and be like, oh, I really want this, or I really want this. What you think you truly want in a relationship or as a partner. And sometimes we can be in a relationship and say, hey, I like that person, and we get a little sidetracked. So keeping a close watch on this heart of mine can mean you got to watch what you're doing around other people other than just your significant other. Another thing that this means is being careful by not loving them too much. Too much of anything is not really a good thing. Too much water, you can drown. Things that are good for you. Too much oxygen, can still, suffocate you, or at least burst pop a lung. That's bad. Anyways, too much air in a tire can pop it, much similar to the, oxygen thing. Anyways, so too much of anything, can really be bad. So loving somebody too much can also be bad. You got to have a balance of also a reality of this person is, not the greatest. And it's also important not to have high expectations for somebody, because I rather have low expectations and then them surprise me and then makes me want them even more, rather than, well, since this person didn't do this, this, and this, they're really not that great. And that's a horrible, expectation when engaging in a relationship. You shouldn't have expectations. You should just be happy with who the person is and that they're willing to spend time with you. But if you're not enjoying their presence, that's something else. That's different. So that's kind of what, I really love about I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I can't just let this heart love anybody else. And I can't let this heart love this person too much. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. So this one, I think, is also kind of playing it. A little. We'll play devil's advocate with it. A part of me, feels like this lyric kind of plays in with jealousy a little bit. Watching somebody else who's watching my significant other, who else is looking at them. But also, I also think that this is also looking at your partner and saying, hey, are you trying to hurt me? I'm trying to keep my eyes open to the possibilities of you either, not having my back, or, just trying to keep my eyes wide open. And also, I think that this also could mean that you're keeping your eyes, you're paying attention to your significant other, okay? You're valuing this person so much that all the little things that they do, the fact that they, I don't know, only eat the green M&Ms or whatever. That paying attention to detail shows how much you care about somebody. So I think that's also another thing that could contribute to this lyric. Let's go to the next one. I keep the end out for the tie that binds. That's pretty cool right there. I keep the end out for the tie that binds. That could mean a couple of things. It's kind of talking about obviously it kind of feels like it's referencing the dress tie. But it also feels like it's referencing, I keep the end out of this relationship. I don't want this relationship to end, therefore I'm going to keep the end out of it. I'm going to make sure that there's no possible way for this to end in a bad way, in a negative way. I feel like that's something that could contribute to this lyric here. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you're mine, and walking the line used to mean totally something different nowadays. Walking the line was always, about staying true to the right path, being on the short and narrow path, staying true to being a good person and a better you. That was kind of the point of walking the line, and staying true to yourself and true to being a good person. But here's what he says. He says, because you're mine, I walk the line. Because you are mine, I strive each and every day to be a better person. And that's what we should do in relationships. That's what we should do. We should strive to work out, to, not just physically be better, to be better physically, because, illnesses and whatnot. I don't mean you have to have a beach body, you don't have to look like some kind of model, and your significant other's not going to care about that. But you have to care about yourself enough to stay alive long enough, right? If you love somebody so much, you're willing to, have a very healthy, balanced meal or diet, so that way you're not throwing yourself, you don't want to, if you love somebody so much, you want to spend as much time in this world with them as possible. So you're going to want to be healthier mentally and physically, so you can spend more time with them and be more productive. So, being a better person, being a better you, because that significant person is yours, they have to be willing to walk the line. And that's such a great song. That's such a cool song. Lyric, sorry. I find it very, very easy to be true. So right here is one of my favorite lyrics from this song, because one of the biggest things in relationships is trust. You gotta be able to trust them. You gotta be able to know that first of all, you should be able to walk through a crowded party, gathering, whatever, and your significant other shouldn't be, looking around, shouldn't be, searching for somebody else better than you. and I'm not trying to play into jealousy here. It's just, your significant, how you know that person is meant for you is because they care about you. They love you so unconditionally. And love is endurance. Love is, love is its own characteristic. Love has its own characteristics listed within love. But anyway, so I find it very easy to be true to you. Basically, how you know that person is amazing for you, or how that person is good for you, is that they don't see any reason to lie. They don't see any reason to hide things from you. They find it very easy to be true to you and to be honest to you. That's how you know somebody loves you so much. I find myself alone when each day is through. So it talks about loneliness. And that's something to be said there. But we're gonna keep going. Yes, I admit that I am a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. So, man, yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. That's crazy. That we will go to any means for this person. And a lot of people say it's foolish. A lot of people say it's you're being a fool, for falling for somebody so fast or so easily. And the fact that he says that I will admit that I am a fool for you. And he doesn't say for everyone. He says for you and you alone. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Because that significant person is yours, they are willing to keep on that straight and narrow path. Now, I understand it repeats, and I know you guys are probably like, yeah, we've heard this already, but that's important that it repeats. Anyways, we're moving on to the next one. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. So that's saying, as sure as night is dark and day is light, as sure as right is wrong, or right is right and wrong is wrong, as sure as right and wrong, I keep you. I keep you on my mind both day and night. It means that this significant other thinks about you from the moment they wake up to the moment they go back to bed. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. The happiness that you feel being with this person, loving this person, just proves that it's right to be with this significant other. And that's the hard one. That's the end-all be-all. Sometimes you're in a relationship and they're not happy. You're happy, but they're not happy. And that's important, because you shouldn't be selfish. If they're not happy, find somebody that would be. And it's a pretty big red flag also. If happiness that you have known in this relationship isn't there, if that happiness isn't there, then that proves that it's wrong. Now, your happiness also, though, here's the thing. With some people, they're happy with being with the wrong person. And that is toxic. That is bad. That is so sad. Because you will continue to fall for these women who have kids, these women who cheat on you, these guys who cheat on you, these guys who have kids and they have baby mamas or baby daddies, and they decide that they'll fool around with each other every now and then while being in a relationship with you. These are horrible things. These are awful things. And we oftentimes, I see it time and time again where people just are attracted to bad relationships, to bad situations, to bad scenarios. And that's sad. That just absolutely tears my heart apart, because everybody deserves true and just undevoted. Well, I shouldn't say undevoted. How do I even describe it? You should just absolutely love that person. Just no matter what they do or what they say, you still love them. You can be mad at them. You can kind of be like, man, that is so unfair. But but it's still possible for them to make you mad, but also to love them. So don't get that twisted, first of all. Anyways, yeah, so let's move on. You've got a way to keep me on your side. Meaning that this person, well, hold on, let's finish it. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't find. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tides. Because you're mine, I walk the line. So let's look at that again. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You've got a way that just there's something about this person that you can't shake it. No matter what, they're gonna be right next to you. No matter what decision you make, they're going to be there with you. They're going to accept it, and they're going to follow through with you. No matter what decision they make. No matter what decision they make. They're going to be by your side. They're going to love you. They're going to be there for you, no matter what decision you make. You give me cause for love that I can't find. That's so cool. That's so cool. You're basically, that's saying, you give me reason for love that I don't even know about. You make it possible for me to love you for reasons that I'm unaware of, for lack of a better term of saying it. That's so cool. That's amazing. Love like that is not easily found. Usually takes a long time, and many failed relationships along the way. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tides. That's so cool. That's awesome. That's probably the favorite one of mine. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tides. Basically saying, for you, I'd try the impossible. For you, I would go through hell itself. And that's cool. That's so cool. That's awesome. It truly is a great song. You know, the meaning behind this, these lyrics and these words, they're amazing. I think that, Johnny Cash was not only a skilled man when it comes to, being an artist, but he was just very good at putting words and not just skilled with an instrument, but being as poetic as he is, finding the right ways to word this. It takes a lot amount of skill and honestly listening to your heart, listening to what emotion you're feeling and paying attention to it and dissecting it. So, but don't get overwhelmed with it. So anyways, guys, that was pretty much it. That was Johnny Cash, Walk the Line. I hope you guys liked it. This really is the goals of relationships. This is something that, each characteristic mentioned in here should be something you see in your significant other, or something you should find in your significant other when you find that significant other. And that's not easily done. especially in today's society. Holy crap, man! This is impossible nowadays. Like their whole mindset was totally different back then. They actually had love. They actually had respect. They actually had like chivalry, which is something that is rarely seen nowadays. Don't get me wrong; it was probably rare back then too, because dirtbags are always going to be dirtbags. But it was more people aspired towards doing the right thing back then. Now people aspire to doing the wrong thing and getting away with it, for being able to take no responsibility for it. And that's not the message I wanted to say out of this, but though that's the side note. I want you guys to look at these lyrics and look at these songs, and I want you to find that in somebody. And when you do find that in somebody, you know, that happiness that just is unmistaken, that cause for love that you can't find, they give you cause for love that you can't find. That should be it. You know, that should be it. Not easily found. And the statistics suck too, because, you know, for relationships, because it's like you're one person out of 8 billion people on a spinning ball, or 7 billion, 7 billion, 7 million, no, billion. You're 7 billion. You're one person in 7 billion on a spinning ball, and you're supposed to find that one significant other. But it's a little bit more broken down. You know, we still have our likes and our dislikes that kind of narrow that down. You know, for instance, you may not like people who, you may not like Russians. You may not like Germans, or may not like Americans. You may not like a certain type of country, or person from that country. You don't know. You may not be able to speak the language, let alone not, doesn't matter about like them or not. You may not be able to communicate with them, and communicating with them is a cornerstone in the relationship. Is a cornerstone in any relationship. So, anyways, guys. But yeah, this should be a really good rule of thumb at the very least, for taking a look at significant others. But also should find somebody who treats you well, someone who treats you good, who doesn't just cheat on you and then you blow it off, and then you should have you and that person involved in that relationship, and that is all that is needed. It's a child's relationship when you start adding all these other implications into it. But this is true love. This is what's told in this isn't what's told in the fairy tales. This is what real love looks like. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I really hope you guys liked that. I hope you love the song too. It's a great song. I love Johnny Cash a lot. There's so many good songs from him. But this is one of my favorite sappier songs from him. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.